I'm gonna mute you.
Under the same moon, we share the love. Embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Watching the World. Tonight, we're trying to figure out what happened to Nolan Wells. That's what everybody wants to know. We have a special guest that will be with us tonight. She goes by the name of Mama Flips, and she's quite amazing when it comes to really pushing those issues that other people are afraid to touch. And that's why everybody's so amazed with Mama Flips. We're going to ask these tough questions. I want to make it very clear before we get started that this is not a way of accusing anyone. In fact, when you go to the local authorities, they do not even have a suspect. Perhaps there's not even a sure reason or way of explaining as to how Nolan Wells lost his life. So we want to make that clear because right now there's a cloud of smoke going around. And in an effort to silence people that are asking questions, people are choosing to use the legal system and judges and courtrooms and juries and defamation. All right. So we still have to continue to have these discussions. Nolan, unfortunately, will not be the last person that probably will pass away under suspicious circumstances. So we definitely don't want to be accusing people and having the type of narratives that some people push around. They're even making up pictures, they're making up videos. Well, guess what? I'm even seeing some of the mainstream media that are pro this case as far as the local authorities. I also see them putting out false information too. So we push back on both sides. We take those particular points. And tonight, Mama Flips and I, we're going to put those points up to the light and see if they hold up to the scrutiny as to what could have happened to Nolan. And we're going to talk about and show you some aspects of things that I promise you haven't seen it anywhere else online. In fact, it's amazing that I see some creators using some of the material that we've expressed here at Watching the World. We don't get any credit for it, but I'm not really pushing back on that. But it's amazing to see that we do have an effect and people are noticing the points that are being brought out in regards to this case. But not only this case, we've had this issue develop in other cases too. So let's welcome on. She's amazing. She's powerful as a woman. I've seen her shred men to pieces. In fact, whenever I see men try to take her on, I dare not say a word because I know it's about to get brutal. Unfortunately, Mama Flips has many men and tough guys laid out on the deck. They thought they could take her, and guess what? She shredded them to pieces. I watched them all fall, and hopefully she will go light on anyone that dares to try to take her on, especially tonight. We will be dropping the link for those of you who want to come on, but I would suggest that you proceed with caution because this is a tough night. Thursday night is the night where I wouldn't say anything goes, but we have those discussions that have the toughest guys in town shaking in their boots. I've never seen anything like it. It's like lightning and thunder all wrapped up in one. Let's bring her on. She's far too amazing, but she's also kind. Let's have Mama Flips come up now. Mama Flips, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
What's the
I'm,
deal?
I'm laughing in the background. Why are you making me sound so vulnerable, so scary? I'm not. I'm a nice person. I'm
Yeah,
really
but you're a little
nice.
bit on the scary side, you
Well,
know?
I mean,
You,
I can't take nonsense. I'm like, excuse me, guys. I'm just fixing my camera a little bit. I just can't take nonsense. I can't have people come up and on our show, because you're the main host and I'm your guest host, come on our show and just spew nonsense. I just can't do it. I try to be nice and listen, to be open, but I just can't do it. So, but I'm nice. I listen. I welcome opposing views and stuff like that. I do. It's just that, like you said, freedom of speech, right? That's your saying in this platform, freedom of speech. Everybody has a right to come and give their opinions and freedom of speech. But as I say, freedom of speech come with consequences, right? And
yep.
I'm that consequence. That's all. That's it. But I'm still loving.
All right. Well, that's amazing. Let's get to Nolan Wells. You told me you have some fascinating information in regards to this case, so let's get to it. Tell us all about it.
Okay, so today, I don't know if it has been reported completely or actually, because TMZ is sort of quasi news and quasi gossip, but it's being reported that apparently Nolan alleged friends, and I'm going to say alleged, and I'm going to stand by it, has hired an attorney that appeared to has represented Donald Trump, right? And this particular attorney is going to, I'm not sure if it's two or three of the of the alleged friends. Now, I'm not sure if those particular young people were on the boat or not, or which boat they were on. I'm not sure, but according to what I heard, the reason why they're doing is to push back of all the negative narrative about them, and to ensure that their future is is not smeared by the alleged campaign against them by different content creators accusing them of doing something that they have not done. So that's what I saw. So I just found it very interesting when I heard today that the fact that they hired this particular lawyer, because I was told, I was told that we as a community was ace baiting when we talk about this case. I was told that Miss Christine and Mr. Elman, which is Nolan family, mother and dad, were the one that was pushing the ACE situation, right? Because they hired Ben Crumb, and they allowed Al Sharpton to speak to provide eulogy at the son's uh, funeral. I was told that it's them that was pushing it. And there was a lot of pushback about that. Oh my God. Like, how dare they, as parents, hire whoever they want to represent them to find out what their children, how their children was unalive. How dare they? How dare they reach out to Black Excellent and ask for support? Especially, oh my God, there's no such thing in this world, especially in little old Mississippi, southern Mississippi, as aces in Mississippi. Why would we even think that after all these years? We are in 2026. How dare we? So my thing is, since so many people was on their backs and threatening and disrespecting to the Nolan Wells family because they brought Black excellence and helped them, what are we supposed to do now when we find out that the young people or their family hired a MAGA lawyer? Because that's exactly what he is. He's a MAGA lawyer, right? So are we now supposed to now look at it and say, oh, because that's what I'm seeing. Oh, so you're supporting a MAGA lawyer. You brought in a MAGA lawyer. And we know, again, to all my white brothers and sisters who are on this show, if this hat don't fit, please take the hat off. I'm not talking to y'all. I love y'all. I even love my MAGA brothers and sisters. As long as we could have a drink, we could chill out. I'm not talking to y'all either. I'm talking to the ones that are disrespectful of the Black and brown people, who think that we don't equate to you, who think that Black women should not excel and keep their jobs, who applaud the 300,000 black women who lost their jobs when Donald Trump came into office. I'm talking to those people. Now, we know how you feel about us black and brown, right? We know how you feel about the fact that you feel disrespected on behalf of the young men that Nolan mom and dad felt the need to hire outside help because the sheriff came out once they found out their son was alive and said there was nothing here. There was nothing here. Nothing happened to him. That's it. So when they went out, you guys, not you, not all of y'all, went up in an uproar, acting all kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, didn't know what to do. To the point that you actually went to seek black representative of the community to come and tell us, black and brown people, what actually going on. That we are completely wrong to side with the mom and dad and no. But listen to me. Listen to me. Those poor boy right here, they're innocent. Those poor boy right here, y'all don't need to know nothing about anything they had. They don't have to take a lie detector. They don't have to take a lie detector test. They don't have to do anything. Believe me when I say those poor boy right here, they're fine. Nolan, the way he on the life, don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it. Don't worry this up. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys brought some black and brown faces over here to tell us how it is. Okay. So now we are here. So now that we are here, I want to know how are we supposed to feel that the family members hired Trump lawyer? Okay. And that's what I would like to know. So is it okay for us now to look at this a little bit more closely and say, okay, you know something, like they might now be pushing back on the ACE thing. They might be like, hey, you know, you guys got some blackness over there, so we need to bring our white people over here to support us. I'm just putting it out there. Is it now safe to talk about the ACE situation right now? That's what I'm asking. That's where we are. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Do you see?
They named them. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me look at it. They said the 3 friends, alleged friends, right? Oh, and we shouldn't even, I'm just going to say the initials because I don't want to get in trouble. Because apparently we're supposed to be, before we continue, thank you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sweating inside of my room. Before you go on, I want to put a disclaimer out here. Apparently, and I know Mel want to say something, but let me finish. Apparently, you guys, some of you guys think that we scary. Apparently, some of you guys think that we scary. I don't know why there is this misconception that black folks are scared of controversy. Black folks are scared for fighting for our own. Black folks are scared to chase after justice. Black folks are scared to tell the truth. I don't even understand where this concept from, because we came from a generation that fought against Avery, that fought for our freedom and justice. And even in those cases, there were cases where we had to capitulate and we had to suffer, but we rise on that. Even in that case, we not them, we us now. We here now. What makes y'all think? Some of y'all think that y'all gonna be hiring some lawyer to scare some of us from trying to fight to find the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells? I don't even understand what's going on. I don't understand it. So I'm not supposed to ask questions. We're not supposed to have shows because we scary. We so scary they're gonna come and give us a lawsuit and we're gonna lose everything. Is that what's supposed to going on? I'm just gonna let y'all know that, because from my mouth to y'all ears, I'm not naming nobody name intentionally, right? But I will say that the person that hires is WHJP and MS. Those are the initials. And apparently they hired, I think they added prominent defamation media lawyer Edward Andrew Palsky to their legal defense team. So I believe that's the lawyer. I'm sure I can name the lawyer without defamation. I'm just saying. So I'm just telling y'all, we ain't scary. I am deliberately not naming these young men because I want to show respect, right? Only to the point that I want to see what the evidence bring. But the moment I feel that I am in my right to name their name and to say what I believe may be the case, I will do so, right? And I talk about it on other platform, but I am showing Mel the respect that he asked me to not to drag these people online until we get the proof. But at the end of the day, I'm doing it as respect because I want to do it. not because I'm scared. And with me not naming their names, I'm still saying that this is fishy. I personally do not believe that he, as of now, with all the evidence that's been shown, I do not believe that he was accidentally fell in the water and unalive until you show me something else. It's been way too long with way too much evidence out there. The Mississippi is walking and riding shady. The fact that a lot of these families had lawyer up give me pause. The fact that they had the phone, give me pause. The fact that they had the car, give me pause. The fact that they didn't come out and reach out to the family to support, give me pause. There's a lot of stuff out here. So if you guys don't like what we're saying, that's on you. That's on Mississippi. That's on the investigation. It's not on us or the content creators that's trying to find proof, because we want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. And we're not going to stop until we get an answer. Thank you, Mel, for allowing me all this time to say what I have to say. Please, the floor is yours. I land my plane.
All right, very good. Thank you very much for that. So, what do you think in regards to the strategy to silence people? Do you think it's a real thing, or do you think the defamation, this whole strategy, has more to it?
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna shut off my camera to wipe my face. I'll be right back. I think the fact is just to scare people. I just think it's scare people. I think that, and what frustrates me is that this is not the first time that independent media has gone out of that has gone out to cover stories, especially the new independent media. Me and you, we cover stories all the time. I mean, I have a much smaller platform. By the way, I have a lot of lives on MamaFlipLive in which I talk about various issues. I don't see none of y'all over there, but go over there and then give me your comments on MamaFlipLive. We talk about various issues all the time. I don't understand why this particular case, no, that's not true. I understand, but I don't like why this particular case has caused so much a roar. Like, what is happening? Do you think that we are not aware of the fact that the reason why there's so much anger and so much disrespect that's going on with people who wants to know the truth is because we have white young men who are in a mostly white community running scared? We're not supposed to understand the fact and talk about that. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, all of these defamation lawsuits or threats is a scare tactic to silence the media, to silence the investigation. No one wants us to ask any questions. They want us to just believe that this happened to Nolan and then for us to move on. But that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So bring in the lawyers, bring in Trump, bring in DOJ, bring in the FBI. The only thing I can say is I do not like the fact that people are being threatened. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that the engineers threatened. There was a report on her. I heard her testify about what they're doing. Apparently, there's a content creator on TikTok who's showing her entire behind on TikTok to just threaten her and the family and stuff like that. So they talk about go look at and she happened to be a white female who's acting all for Cocoa Puffs. Apparently, she has a legal case, a horrible legal case in which, according to my understanding, that she had issues with her former husband or children, and then now she over here talking about this woman because she had a mugshot. You see, glass houses shouldn't throw stones, but that's her. But also, Nolan Wells' family is being threatened, and also the boys' family is being threatened. No one should be threatening anybody. So I totally disagree of calling and of swatting and threatening anybody in this case. That's not what we're saying. We're not asking for anybody to be threatened or hurt. What we're asking for is the truth about what happened to Nolan. It's very simple. The Mississippi had came out early on and said, look, this is the cases. These are the boys that we spoke to. This is a photo, a video of Nolan when as the boat rolled away and they waved. Because now we have photos, right, that we talked about. I know you talked about, in which we saw kids having phones in the water. Didn't we see those pictures? I saw pictures of kids. That was the biggest thing. Oh, they didn't have the phone in the water. Then all of a sudden I see a photo. I'm like, 1, 2, 3. They have phones in the water. So send me a photo or video of the boat waving Nolan Wells on the island, right, as they move on. And then tell us what happened to the kid. Like, I don't even want to say he was 18 years old, for God's sake. 18, he was a kid. He would have been 19 in August 19, God rest his soul. So we're not supposed to be concerned, right? Sorry, Mel. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just wonder, in the
I
case
feel it.
of the mother, Christine, it appears that she started receiving so many negative reviews on her business after losing her son. Why do you think that would happen?
Because, sorry, give me 1 second. Hold on. I don't know why I'm coughing. Give me 1 second. I'll be right with you.
Okay, so guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Welcome into you guys. We're going to have a deep discussion tonight about Nolan Wells and trying to figure out what happened. We have some information to share in regards to this very monumental case. I think it's a case that has really gotten the attention of most Americans, just to say
Sorry.
the least. All right, so I'll let you continue. You
Yes, I'm
okay
sorry.
now?
Sorry. All of a sudden, I'm coughing. There's a lot of negative energy being thrown my way.
All
so,
right.
so as I was saying, the reason why is there is an ACE issue in America. Now that the young family members of those boys hired a Trump supporter, MAGA lawyer, we could now be honest about where we are, right? We could now just be honest with you. There's an ACE issue in America, right? A lot of people are attacking the survivor because that's what she is. She lost her baby boy, the kid that she loved, she cherished, and she grew, right? She has pictures, videos, everything on her son. She know everything about her son. She even loved her son enough that she had a tracking on his phone where she was able to identify where his phone was. She loved her son. She loved everything about him. So you guys are mad because this black mom want to know what happened to her son, and y'all mad. Not everybody, my white brothers and sisters, mega brothers and sisters, that's not y'all. Let it go. Y'all mad because she wants to know what happened to her son, and y'all mad because the people that she's asking questions to are white boys, are white children. Because there was a girl on that boat, allegedly, according to the recording. Y'all upset because a black person, a black mother, has the nerve, the audacity to question the whiteness of the boys that her son hung out with. The nerve of her to do that, to ask a question. That's the issue. And the reason why a lot of us are yelling ace, ace, ace is because y'all guys didn't made it an issue. You guys made an issue. We didn't. We just asked what happened to Nolan. That's how this whole conversation happened. Oh my God. I remember when I heard the story. I was in Bali's enjoying my vacation. When I heard the story, I'm like, oh my God, what happened? What happened to the little baby? Look at the beautiful boy. Look at him. You know how beautiful that boy is? Do you see how beautiful he was? How tall and gorgeous and sweet he was? He was an athlete. He was a scholar. He was smart. He was a good kid. So we want to know what happened to him. Our bad. Our bad for wanting to know what one of our beautiful young kids out here who's doing an excellent job, who is a law-abiding citizen, passing his classes. He's playing his sports. He's loving on everybody. Everybody say he's a great guy. Forgive us for caring about him. Right? Forgive us for looking at this beautiful woman and her good-looking husband, even if they weren't attractive, but it so happened they were all attractive. Forgive us for caring about why did these beautiful people, she's a nurse, I'm not sure what the dad does, Lord abiding tax-paying people who live in Mississippi, right? Who has white friends, because apparently the sheriff, the judge of one of the stepmother of one of the kids that was on the boat or alleged on the boat, she said she went to school with her. So why is this beautiful woman who went to school or who lived in the community for years, why did she lose her kid? Why did she felt so comfortable to allow her precious boy to go on a trip with these kids that he went to many other times? She didn't stop them. She said it. She said, I have never told my son to look at people because of their ace. I would never have done that. She was more open than me. So she wants to know that, look, yo, excuse me. Let me take it to Brooklyn. Like, yo, I sent my son with y'all. And y'all come back. Y'all don't know where my son is. Y'all don't know where his phone is. Y'all don't know the last time y'all saw him. You tell me some BS that he was with some chick, and then the chick say she wasn't with him. She passed him by. So what happened? That's supposed to be your friend. Why y'all left him behind? But she can't do that, right? She can't ask that question, right? Because she's black, right? Because she's black and they're white. And how dare she? How dare you? And the sheriff should be ashamed of himself that started this conversation, because I promise you on God, that if it was a white young man that was missing on the island, first of all, they wouldn't have waited all that time, they would have found him. But let's say sometimes it takes 24 to 48 hours. I promise you, and they were black kids, the sheriff would have had every single one of those black kids lined up at that precinct. It's precinct in New York. It could be sheriff office, finding out what the hell happened. But they didn't do that for Nolan.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you say basically there would be a difference if he was a different color,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
does that mean you think this case won't be solved?
I think the case is going to be solved. I give it 75-25%. You know why? Because I think it's because there's a lot of anger out here in regards to the case on both sides, right? On both sides. And now the sheriff has to prove something. The sheriff has to now prove himself, because right now the sheriff made a very bad mistake by opening up this can of worms, because the sheriff didn't have to say, oh, I see nothing, I see no foul play. He shouldn't have said that. But now he has to now go back. He's backtracking because now he has to prove the case. Because if he doesn't prove the case, then now he has the whole world look at it, because it's not just the United States, it's around the world. Everyone is looking at the United States like, what the hell is this? We're in 2026. What's going on? This is 1940s? Why is it a young man goes to an island with a bunch of friends and don't come back alive? What's going on? And I think the most funniest thing that it's funny but tragic. Apparently, there were some comments in which they said that they were people that apparently was unalived in that island in the past. According to my understanding, unless somebody could prove me wrong, Nolan was the first one. Nolan was the first one. So you mean to tell me, after all the years of them having this party, right? Nolan is the only one that was unalive or drowning at that party in that way, right? But we're not supposed to ask questions. We're not supposed to be curious. We're not supposed to want to support the family because we're wrong, right? So yeah, I think the case have a 75% chance of being investigated, and some results will come out, because I don't think we're going to be quiet. I think it went too far, and I think the sheriff has to prove something. I don't know if we're going to like the answer. The sheriff may come back and they said and have proof that unfortunately Nolan was on the island, and unfortunately he drowned. Unfortunately, they may have proof. We're not going to believe them right away. We're going to want to see pictures, proof, timeline, stuff like that. But if that's the case, a lot of us will come back and say, my condolences. We wish best for the family, because I'm sure there's a lot more stories. There's a lot more stories of young black males and women that's being unalive, through no faults of their own, that we're going to cover, that we're concerned about. But we just need the answer. So I believe that we're going to get the answer, but there's also that 25% chance where they're going to try to sweep it under the rug. But I don't think we're going to stay quiet on this. I think we're going to continue pushing. Apparently, we're doing enough that they had to hire a MAGA lawyer to protect themselves in their future. We'll see.
All right, everybody, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Can you tell everybody your channel?
Oh, so my channel is MamaFlip. That's MamaFlip Live. That's my YouTube channel. That's where I talk about all this stuff. But also, I'd like everybody to join our MamaFlip Slots channel. That's MAMASFLIP Slots. That's me and my mom playing slots. That's what we do on our fun time, and that's our bigger channel.
All right. Thank you, Phil, for supporting the channel. You're so amazing. Phil says you're not guaranteed answers in life. Asking questions is different than sharing your opinions. All right. Thank you,
Hold
Phil.
on.
Any comment on that?
What? Can you repeat that question for me? Asking question is different than giving your opinion. Does that make sense to everyone? Maybe because when you ask questions, right? You get a reply, and based on the reply, you either give ask additional question or you give a response to that question or to that answer. And your response to that answer that they give you once you ask a question is sometimes your opinion. Is either facts or opinion. That's an answer. So I don't understand what you mean when you say that you ask a question but you don't give an opinion. I'm a little lost, Phil. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I'm a little lost with that one. But continue. Let's read on. Let's read on.
What would be your best argument that something nefarious happened to Nolan?
My best argument is that it's okay. First of all, it's taking way too long to get an answer. Sorry, guys. It's so hot here. It's hot in Brooklyn, so that's why I'm sweating and everything. So I apologize.
Because you know we cover cases together. We go to court. So give us a court level type of answer as to why you think something nefarious happened to him.
I don't know if anything nefarious happened to him per se. I think that it's possible that the cover up is worse than the crime. I think something happened, right? Which led all these people, like mostly these young people that was close to Nolan, to come together and to quiet about what happened to Nolan. It was supposed to be a very simple case. This is not the first time where, unfortunately, a person drowned. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time. Most of the time, people will go in, they'll unfortunately they'll notify the family, they pick up the person, they take him to the autopsy, they do autopsy, they find liquid in the lungs and stuff like that, and they unfortunately break the news and say, hey, this person drowned because of this and that reason. Everything goes away. From the very beginning, none of that has happened. From the very beginning, it seems as if there was some type of cover up, right? And that's the problem. That's the problem with this case. There's a lot of people that they get questioned, they get booked. A lot of people get released, but we get answers. It's been closed from the very beginning. This case has been closed to everyone. You can't actually question. Everybody is touchy about even making any opinions, apparently, because we can't even make an opinions on this. This reeks of corruption, right? It reeks of incompetency. It reeks of disrespect to the family. Let's just say, okay, let's just push everything back and say, okay, let's push everything back and say that we don't know anything about this. The fact that the family is being disrespected on this level just show me that there is a problem with this case. You understand what I'm saying? They did not unite with the family to make the family feel comfortable enough to say, okay, my questions is being answered. You're telling me a mom and a dad, especially a mom that went to school with some of these people, she may have called some of these people friends. Why do we think that she needed to go outside of that community to get answers? Why? So that's the first thing that led me to believe, okay, there's something not going on here. I don't like this. Because she could have simply just waited. Why did she have to go outside the community? So there's a lot of stuff involved in this that makes it really bad. But if we talk about legally, the fact that he disappeared, the fact that they didn't call the Coast Guard until late at night, the fact that when the mom had to go look for the phone because they had the phone, right? The fact that when she got the phone is being alleged that there's been some missing records, there's been some deleted records of the phone. The fact is that when they actually, the fact is that the dad, Mr. Ullman, said that he actually went on a boat to go around the island looking for his son, and he did not see his son. All right, he went on a boat. He drove around the island looking for his son. He couldn't find his son. The day after, that's when his body showed up on the shore. That's in question. Okay, apparently, which I didn't realize. Apparently, there's a T-shirt of his that apparently Nolan had a shirt on that is being, I don't know if it's true, that's missing, right? It's just way too much things that's not being answered. That's what makes me think there's more to the story than just regular, this poor unfortunate kid drowned.
Okay, so
And also, let's not forget your investigation as far as the boat. There's this recording that a lot of people are saying we don't know whether it's true or not, in which we can hear certain statements that's being said. I heard it. The Navy group is showing the placement of the boats. The GPS is not actually meeting with the interviews that these young men are giving. It's just there's a whole lot. Apparently, they don't want to take the lie detector test. They're taking a quasi lie detector test, and now we have them now hiring lawyers. It just reeks. So
Okay, so what? Let me ask you this question then. What part of the story seems to lead that something nefarious happened? What
the
part
phone,
can you point to?
the phone, and the deleted messages. That's the first part. If you ask me, what's the first thing that caught my attention? The phone and the deleted message. The fact that the kids, the phone, the fact that the mom could track the phone from the boat to the friend house, and that she had to get, instead of them calling the mom and saying, "I have the phone," her friend had to go get the phone, and when she got the phone, she realized there was deleted messages. That was the first thing that was like, okay, there's a problem right here.
According to some sources, they say the deleted messages came by way of Snapchat, which that's very indicative of. What do you think about that?
What do you mean? So apparently, Snapchat delete their own messages. Is that? I know that Instagram has vanishing messages. Are we saying that Snapchat has vanishing messages too? Is that a new theory, that the fact that everything that happened that day, everything
Accor-
that happened that day, Nolan had the vanishing messages, so it
according
disappeared.
according to reports,
Mhm.
Snapchat started off as a way of quickly deleting nude photos. Okay, so
Okay.
that's what's circulating, that these messages were probably supposed to be disappearing. So I'm just asking you, what do you say about that?
So I have never heard that Snapchat has disappearing messages like Instagram. And even in the case of Instagram, there are certain ways that you could actually bring up the disappearing messages. I trust me, I know. I promise you, I know that there's ways, even though you put in disappearing messages, there's ways that you could actually save those messages. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there because nothing on these phones disappear forever. Okay. With that said, so nothing was. He deleted everything from that day. He deleted everything from that day. From the moment that he woke up, from the moment that he went to his friend's house and got him, everything is deleted. There's no pictures of that whole day. That
So
whole
let
day.
me.
So Nolan just decided, hey, when I let's think about this. So he decided, I'm going to hang out with my friends, but I know that whole day, 4th of July, I'm going to be doing some reckless stuff out there. I'm going to be doing some reckless, out of line stuff. So to protect me and my friends, I'm putting everything on vanish mode, because that's what it's called. It's called vanish mode. So I didn't know Snapchat had vanish mode like Instagram, but you telling me that Nolan woke up and knew before I even was hanging out with my friend that I know everything that day is going to be deleted. It's going to be deleted so that nobody see what happened that day or any other day. Apparently, this is the first time he decided he's going to go out with his friends on a boat. So every time he gets on a boat with his friends, he put it on vanishing mode. That's what we're supposed to believe. That's what we're supposed to believe.
Or the other argument is that he didn't record or take any photos that day.
There's a difference without recording and deleting. You see, when you delete something, it shows that you deleted. When you don't record, then it doesn't show it's deleted. You see, there's two conversations. Oh, there's no recording of messages from that day. Oh my God, what happened? Or it's deleted. It's two separate things. I didn't hear from mom and dad or anybody else that, oh, he decided not to record. I heard, again, I'm not there. We're just listening to the reports that come out, because she put in a subpoena, right, with the telephone company to get the undeleted data. Okay, because remember, we all talk about the metadata. Remember, you and I got into a big thing the other day about the metadata, about how you don't believe that Diddy try to push the girl over.
Oh my God! Please don't bring up Diddy. Don't.
I just say that you the one that brought up phones and stuff like that, right? I'm just
Oh my
saying that there
God!
are stuff with metadata, right, on the phone that can show if something is deleted or not on these phones. So mom and dad are saying that the messages, whatever was on the phone, was deleted. Not that he didn't record it, it was deleted. So now we want to know what was deleted.
Okay, I get that. I'm going to try to pull up the audio for you. Just
Okay.
keep talking for a moment. I'm trying to find something for you.
All right. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? What's your thoughts about? I would love to hear what everybody thinks about the fact that the three young men, okay, that's WH, JP, and MS, decided that they wanted to hire a mega lawyer. Like, what are our thoughts here? Should we feel away? Like a lot of people fell away when the family member hired Ben Crump. Like, should we feel away now? I'm just saying. I'm just asking. Go ahead, Mel. You want to show us something?
No, it's okay. We're going to just keep going. I'll eventually find out. But let me lay out because you're making an argument. I want to make this very clear,
Mm-hmm.
just so we can get a full scope. According to what I've heard, I haven't heard everything under the sun.
Okay.
But basically, the argument from the mother is that when they checked the phone, there was nothing there. And so there was an assumption that his information had been deleted. Okay. So that's why when you go to like Nancy Grace and some of these other platforms, or I don't want to mention the platform, let me take that back. Different people are actually saying, well, listen, maybe he had things on, he didn't even record anything at all that day. So that's the general argument that we see floating around.
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing you say that because what I heard, I personally heard, and I could be wrong, is that they hired, right? They submitted subpoena to the telephone company to find out what was deleted off the phone. That's what I heard. I did not hear what you heard, in which they said there's no videos or messages on there. So they assumed that something is wrong. I heard that they had submitted subpoena to the phone company to get the deleted files. That's what I heard. So I don't know.
What
That's
what
what
was the ultimate findings on that? Do you know?
they no they submitted a subpoena. They're waiting for the telephone company to respond to their subpoena. That's what I've heard. Either they submitted it or in the process of submitting it, because they said, and I've heard it several times. I didn't hear it from one source like Nancy Grace and everything. I'm not, and I don't know, our feelings on Nancy. I appreciate all her effort that she's doing in this case and everything like that. I've never really watched her before, but I'm watching her now. I'm personally hearing that they submitted a subpoena to find out what was deleted from the phone. This is the first time you're saying to me, or you're going to share a recording in which they said that they assumed something was wrong because they didn't see any videos or photos that day. Now, mind you, if that's the case, I would not blame them for assuming, because even though we're going to make an ass of ourselves, or you and me, I know for a fact any of my kids, my grandkids included, me too, wherever I go, I take pictures and films of everything I do. So it would be strange, at least to me, that an 18-year-old decided he's going to hang out with his friends in this big elaborate party. Didn't we hear the 250-year anniversary of America? And this is who y'all put on office to actually be the president of our 250 year of America. But we're going to put that aside for a moment. Did you think that he's not going to take pictures with his friends? He's not going to take videos and enjoy his time with his friends? So we're going to think a young 18-year-old, right? Did y'all see that video with all those chicks walking around with swimsuits and everything like that? Their bodies up. You think I'm stupid enough to think that my kids or my young kids ain't gonna take pictures of themselves or their friends and stuff like that? You think I'm stupid? So I totally think that yes, I would be concerned if I received my phone and the phone of my unalived child and nothing is shown that day, because that would seem strange to me, especially knowing my child. But I have not heard that. I did not hear that it's assumption. I heard that it was deleted files and they getting a subpoena to get those files. That's what I heard.
Okay, so let me give you a different spin on this, a different
Okay.
narrative, right?
Yes,
I
please.
tried to find the audio. I played it the other day, but I'll just give you the general synopsis, right?
Okay.
One of Nolan Wells' friend's mother, and we use the word friend lightly,
The
she
judge.
said that,
The
and
judge.
she gave the timeline. So basically, Nolan went missing on July the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
around 12:30 the next morning, 12:30 a.m.
Okay.
I think it's Javon's mother came and took the phone.
Mm,
About an hour and 15 minutes later, one of Nolan's friends' moms, she relates the story that her son
mm,
had Snapchatted Nolan around 1:43 a.m.
okay.
Okay. And he just happened to, she said, by the grace of God or something like that, he happened to do a screenshot. And
Hmm.
in the screenshot, it showed that Nolan had been basically stuck in the middle of the sea for 13 hours. Not, that doesn't mean he was there for 13 hours. It means that that's the last known place of his phone was in the middle of that voyage from the dock to Horn Island.
Mm,
And if you go back 13 hours, she proceeded to say that that lines up with the time that they were going to the island. So, based on her argument, let's say Nolan was on his way to the island, his
mm,
phone got cut off, the
mm,
battery died, whatever happened with his phone, then
mm.
that would explain why he didn't have anything activity on the phone for the day. You could derive that from her testimony. Go ahead, give me
So,
the breakdown.
so I have not heard from Miss Christine that she said that when she got the phone, that the phone was died and she had to recharge the phone and open up the phone. And when she opened up the phone, she didn't see any messages from her son. I ain't hear none of that. I ain't hear that. I'm waiting. Did somebody ask that question? Did anybody ask the mom and dad, hey, was the phone dead? Did the phone die? Did you have to recharge the phone and had to turn the phone on? Because I haven't heard that. So until I hear that, that don't make sense to me. And here's another thing that we know about these kids. It's called a hard drive. Let me see. It looks something like. You see, this is not exactly it, but it look a little bit something like this. You understand? All of these kids, they have what is called battery pack. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they do.
Yeah.
So if they don't have battery packs, they actually have chargers on the boat. You want me to believe? I'm just saying, because because I'm silly, right? Because talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. You want me to believe that an 18-year-old child went on a trip with friends and his phone died, and he had no extra battery, right? And even if he don't have no extra battery, none of his friends has extra battery. He didn't realize he didn't have no battery. And the boat don't have any charges because apparently these boats have no idea that our kids have charges. He didn't have no cords. He didn't have nothing, right? He had nothing. And he just allowed his phone to die on the biggest day of the year. That's what you guys want me to believe. An 18-year-old in today's time, a popular 18-year-old, no phone, no charge. Phone just died. It go bye-bye. And that's it. That's what you want us to believe? Okay. So I haven't heard the mom come back and say that the phone died. So we need to go back and confirm with moms to see if if she had to recharge the phone and how long the phone. So then we could actually have this conversation. But I think that's that. Yeah, no, mm-mm, no, mm-mm. I don't believe it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the same question I gave you before,
Okay.
because you pointed to the phone. But what would be your strongest argument that something nefarious happened to Nolan? What would you point to in all of this story?
As I said, the phone. If you want to
Not the audio.
I was about to say, if you want me to add the second reason,
Oh,
thank you
okay.
for the
Wait,
flag.
wait. The
Because I was
audio is
about
the
to add
second reason.
the phone because we're talking about because the audio wasn't there initially, right? You're talking about. You said my first reason was
No,
the
no,
phone.
no, 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 no. I'm asking you right now, as it stands.
As a stand,
What's the dominant reason you think that this is nefarious and not an accidental drowning or something like that? What would you point
the,
to, in your opinion? By the way.
in my opinion, would be the phone conversation. That the phone conversation is real, and I don't see why it wouldn't be because of the fact that it wasn't the actual. I believe her name is Nicole, the engineer who actually created the phone. It was the phone. The call was sent to her by the organization, the charter towing organization sent the phone call over, right? So I would think that if the phone call was illegitimate or tampered with, I would think that company would have came out and be like, hey, that phone, that's not what we heard. we gave them, and we didn't hear none of that. I don't think anybody came out from anywhere saying that this call or what was heard is AI or illegitimate. So as of now is the call, but not only the call, is the GPS. Is the GPS, the fact that the locations of where the boat was different from what was said in the interview. You see what I mean? Those are the different nuggets that's coming out that's making me be like, okay, something is up. Now, I would say, unlike a lot of people, I would say that whatever, based on what I heard on the recording, that if anything did happen, I don't think it was done intentionally by everyone on that boat. However, if it did happen and that recording is legitimate, and we're saying if if for the lawyers, right? If it was true, you could hear, if you heard it, the distress of the people on the boat. In my opinion, if they felt distressed, that means that whatever happened was unintentional. That's what I would say, if it's true. And then after that, they proceed to cover up. So this is if all of this happened. So that's why I say sometimes the cover up is worse than the crime. That's what I say. So yes, the recording and the GPS right now are the two pieces of evidence that I'm looking for to see how they could explain those two pieces of evidence. That's
Okay,
what I'm
so
looking for.
so let me ask you this question. Okay, let's say something happened to him, accidental, whatever, overdose, whatever, right?
Mhm.
And that call is actually true.
Yes.
Do you still have a crime, being that
Yes.
he showed up? Okay, explain. How do you
Yes,
get it?
because that's tampering with evidence. That's tampering with evidence. You can't tamper with evidence. Somebody, especially if somebody's unalive, because if all of this happened, unfortunately, and those poor titos, those poor kids, oh my God, they're so shocked. Oh, we need to protect them. Oh, they didn't mean to do it. You call the Coast Guard. Hey, this is something that happened. We need you to come and help our friend. We in a dry situation. We don't know what to do. How did his unalivement end up in the island? How did that happen? Right? That means the job who's combined together. If that happened, and that's illegal. That's illegal. So they need to be brought up on charges, even after the fact. That's my opinion. If it happened, it's not innocent. The only thing that's
Okay,
innocent is almost like a hit and run, right? A hit and
right.
run. If you stay on the scene, that doesn't mean when you hit somebody. That doesn't mean whatever happened. That don't mean that you intentionally woke up this morning and said, "Oh, this morning I decided I'm going to hit somebody." That's not what happened most of the time. Hit and run. But there's laws against running. There's laws against leaving the crime. There's laws against tampering after something, right? There's laws in place that prevent you from doing stuff like that. So if you do something like that, then you need to be brought to justice.
Yeah, let me deal with it.
Are you
So
going to deal
listen,
with me? You're dealing
listen,
with
ever. Yeah, I got to straighten you out. You know what I
me.
mean?
Go ahead. Give
So,
me a second. I got to drink something.
so just so everybody know, I'm not just here. Uh, I have my thoughts on the case, but tonight with Mama Flip, she's here to answer questions. So I'm just keeping her going. All right. Don't take this as me not understanding this case. All right. So let's just make that very clear. All right, Mama Flips, you
Of
can get
course you
back to it.
understand. I'm sorry,
Oh,
guys.
no, no, no. But people are, they think I'm just sitting here asking questions. I don't understand. You see what I'm
Of
saying?
course
So
you
anyway,
understand. You've been
I, I
covering
just
this
I
case
just
for like
want to
3 weeks. You
I
started
just
covering this
well,
case
we
Friday.
have new people. We have new people here.
Oh,
I
okay.
just want them to understand.
Yes.
Tonight, my job is to keep you going, right? So that's what we're doing.
And
So
this is
so in the
something new, by
name,
the way, guys. This is the first time that I've had the prosecutor, my lead host, question me like this, like this. I'm like, this is new for us. Like,
well,
what's going on?
we're making. I want people to hear the best of you. So that's what we're doing. So in line with hearing the best of you, what do you think in regards to how the United Cajun Navy came out with their report? But it's almost as though, in many ways, they're showing that Nolan. It's like they're stressing Nolan was on that island after 4:30, but he really wasn't, according to the information so far.
I don't know. I'm not getting that impression. Maybe I'm looking to. I'm getting the impression that first of all, I'm not getting the impression that they're part of the cover up. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm getting the impression because when I saw the photos, there was only one photo that I saw in which they alleged that person that was bent over was Nolan. But when they show the photo and they show the area, they specifically, what I heard said that Nolan is not in these pictures. That's what I'm getting from all of the stuff that they're doing. Is like, okay, these are the boats. This is where. Look at the background because it's because of their photos that I realized that the kids had phones in the water because we were led to believe that all the phones were locked up on the boat. So it's because of their evidence. I'm like, look at it. There's a kid with a phone. Da-da-da. They also had alcoholic beverage because now there's this allegation from the Connery OT officer, right? That's his initial, and I say Connery because I'm trying to be nice, are saying that there was some allegation about what Nolan was doing prior to his unalivement, like the rest of the kids wasn't doing it, right? But I think for them, I appreciate that they're coming out and showing all of these pieces of evidence because I think that they're proving the case that something happened to Nolan, not the other way around. I didn't get that. I didn't get the impression that they're trying to steer the case the opposite direction. What makes you think that their evidence is leading to us or to people to prove that Nolan was on the island? Because it wasn't their GPS is the one that showed that the boat left the area, and if the boat left the area and the audio is telling the truth, then that means that Nolan was on the boat, right? And also, wasn't there evidence saying, which I found very interesting because I automatically thought that if Nolan was,
Let me pause you because
hold on,
that's gonna
let me finish
hold
this.
on. Wait. Let me get this in. It doesn't mean that Nolan was on the boat because according to Warren, he volunteered to stay behind. Okay,
Yes,
so according to the GPS, it simply said that they were pulled out 2.75 miles.
yes. Okay.
Okay, just to be clear. Mhm.
According to the Navy evidence that I saw, this is what I was going to jump in, is that I did not realize that their evidence is saying that Nolan and the W kid did not come together on the same boat, right? I didn't realize that until I saw the evidence. Also, I didn't realize until Dave actually started showing the evidence that there were multiple friends from different boats, and it's a possibility that when Nolan say I'm returning with my friends, because that's being alleged by the sister of the young lady, that it may not have been the boat that he came in with. You see, I didn't realize that until all of this information was coming out from the Navy group. I did not realize that. So I think that the information they're sharing is giving more details into what possibly could have happened, not steering it as if to say, "Oh, you see, oh, because Nolan was on the island." I have not seen any evidence yet to prove to me that Nolan was stayed on the island. I haven't. Apparently, there's supposed to be pictures and videos and stuff like that. We
Well,
haven't seen anything.
according to the report, the investigative report, they have a photo of someone in blue shorts that looks like Nolan at 4:50,
Uh huh.
and at 4:31 they supposedly left. Okay, so that's one of the time frames that they have, you know,
They supposedly left
established.
what, the
Left
island,
the island.
and
4:30 they left. 4:30 according to the GPS, the boat, the
uh-huh,
Triton left. It
yeah.
doesn't tell us, at least the GPS that I've seen, it doesn't tell us about the other two boats, the Palm Beach and the Tide Line. Okay.
Okay.
But according to the United Cajun Navy, they put out a page 14 of the report. It shows you someone walking with blue shorts on the island. And that's the one that I showed you last night that Nancy Gray said, oh, that's not Nolan. It's a different color shorts. Okay.
Okay, but not only a different color short, but they said that this person, if I heard, had hair on their face. Is that the same person that you're talking to me about? The same person?
Somebody said that, but it was actually a female.
The picture that, hold up, the person that they said that was stolen would turn out to be a female?
Yeah, yeah. The person
Why
on
are you trying
page.
to trick me? Why are you trying
Huh?
to? me. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not what I heard. Like, that's not what
Hey, listen. As
I
they
heard that the
say,
person had hair, and that wasn't Nolan. So yes, I heard that.
listen.
I didn't give it any credit. I didn't give it any
Um,
credit.
I
As
can't,
of
I
now, we
can't.
have no proof. We have no proof. Well, as I said, because you were trying to trick me. As of now, we have no proof, no evidence, no photo, no video that showed that Nolan was on the island after the boat left. That's what we're waiting. Anybody
Okay.
can show us that. There were a lot of kids there. Show us a picture of this kid was on the island when the boat
Wait a
left.
minute. Wait a minute. I will do that. I will
Okay.
do that. So, according to the report, I want to make sure we're covering all the facts, right?
Okay.
And we're going to be able to do a good job at it. So, bear with me for one moment. But I'm going to show you this person that, according to the United Cajun Navy report,
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to break that down. I had so much to really get into tonight, but I'm going to stick with that instead
Wait a
of
minute.
getting into a whole lot of stuff. All right.
They identified this particular person as being Nolan Wells.
We're
And
going
they
to go through, listen, we're going to go through all that. I'm going to break it down for you
go
now.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to make it really, I'm going to make it very clear for you. All
All right, I
right.
want to see the picture.
Okay. So, first off, we're going to start with the report. I'm going to break it. You know how I do it. I break
Yeah,
it
of
down.
course. I'm here. I'm here for it. We
So,
here. We here. Let's do
I'm
this.
a,
Let's do
I'm
this.
gonna get it. I'm gonna get at people what they want.
Yes.
So let me. So everybody, get out your white piece of paper and
Yes.
your pad.
All right. Let's see.
Okay. So this is page 14.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You see this person here with the blue shorts on?
Let me see. Hold on one sec.
Right here. You have a person here with blue shorts. This is the actual report, by the way.
All right.
Um,
I can't see
okay.
that close,
So
but go ahead.
so according to the report, let's get the wording.
Okay.
Source time, the newly supplied photograph is represented as having been taken at 4:50 CST on July the 4th, 2026, 19 minutes after the user supplied 431 departure. So this is 19 minutes after the boat, right, which Nolan arrived on Horn Island departed.
Yes.
They
Yes.
say the key visual observation, Frontier Bay, boat number 2 is no longer in the earlier original position shown in figure 5A. So they're talking about, they're saying that one of the boats has left.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. And it says this is consistent with the later fight video still, where the vessel configuration has likewise changed. Okay. They're saying the vessel left. Analytical significance. If the 450 capture time is authenticated, the photograph establishes an upper bound time.
Okay.
Frontier Bay has moved from its earlier position by 1650, which is 450, 19 minutes after the Triton left. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It does not establish the exact time of the movement, destination, occupants, or any connection between the movement and Nolan's disappearance.
Okay.
Nolan possibly in this photo, but not confirmed. Okay. So
Okay.
they're saying, listen, they're saying
Uh-huh.
that this could be Nolan right here. See that?
Possibly, but not confirmed.
Possibly, right? Okay,
Not confirmed.
so
Uh-huh.
let me show the people that I'm not just making this up. So let's get to it. We're gonna listen to it, and then I'm gonna show you that it's actually a female. Could I do that for you tonight?
Oh yeah, please, please do.
I'm gonna show you it's a female, not even a male. So unless Nolan has
Long
breast,
hair. Yeah.
then we have a real big problem here. But I'm gonna break it down. So check this out.
Yeah.
To call made from the
Guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I'm going to show you how these reports and all of these people coming out with this information is leading people down the wrong road, because people are trying to say Nolan was on the island after 431. The last indication of Nolan would be the words of Warren, when he actually says that the friend of his told Nolan, get the F on the boat. We're going to get into that too. But let's check out first. I'm going to show you about this report that they're saying on page 14. All right. Uda says it's a red herring. Exactly, Uda. Let's get to it.
Triton.
We do. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know it's been reported, and obviously the CETO would have.
All right, guys. So here, United Cajun Navy working timeline. This is very important that you capture the spirit of what they're trying to say. 3:23 p.m. video shows crowded Anchorage. Okay. 4:27 video shows boats, people in the Anchorage. Okay. 4:31 Nolan's friends left Horn Island. Okay, is everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
Very important that you clock that time frame.
Yep.
But at 4:50, 19 minutes later, according to what we just saw, they say that individual walking on the beach could potentially be Nolan. They
Mm-hmm.
also say at 5 o'clock, the group of people were heard fighting or seen fighting. Then at 7:30, witness states Nolan nowhere in sight. Okay, so we want to focus on the 4:31, and we also want to focus on the 4:50, 19 minutes later. So listen to the gentleman at the United Cajun Navy and what he's telling Nancy Grace.
Have the exact time of that recording and stuff in their archives. But it seems like it was after 3 o'clock, before 4:30, and we know that the tow was canceled because somebody got in touch with.
Okay, so I broke this down last night, so I would advise you to go check it out if you really want to see. I can't break it down tonight because I have a lot of new information. But basically, what he just said, okay, I want you guys, if you have your white sheet of paper, he says that that call to Ceto was made between 3 and 4:30.
Okay. Three, four,
Okay.
three, okay.
Last night I showed you that according to Warren, they left at 4:30, but according to the GPS, they left at 4:31.
Mm-hmm.
Warren said they were told by Bart a quarter of a mile.
Okay.
Okay, they were told a quarter of a mile by Bart. Then he says Wyatt called Thito after they had been told. So they left at 4:31
Mm-hmm.
and they were told a quarter of a mile. But then I showed you on the GPS last night, they were actually told 2.75 miles
Yeah.
according to the CBS. So
Mm-hmm.
that means that that call to Ceto was made much after this time that the guy just told Nancy Grace. Okay, so let's.
Exactly.
I won't break that down again tonight, but maybe a different show. He also says that the grandfather, that whole canceling of the tow,
Yes.
he says he's saying that that happened between 3 and 4:30. But
Okay.
actually, we know that the sea tow call was made 2.75 miles away from the shore, right? And even though in the background you hear all this, no, whatever you hear in the background, keep in mind that that happened after they were told and they left at 4:30. So that means that when he's saying that Bart just was a good Samaritan and just happened to stumble across them and tow them out, that's
Yeah.
not the case. Bart actually came with them that day. In fact, Warren said he rode with Bart down to Horn Island
Mhm.
and then he left with them, so he didn't stumble across them.
He
They
was
were
there.
actually traveling together. So
Yeah.
let's keep going. I want to focus on the blue shorts. That's why I'm just giving you a summation
Thank
of
you.
these other points.
Bart Edmondson, who ended up towing the boat himself, being a good Samaritan. And of course, now that poor guy is getting, raked over the coals just for being a good, what we try to tell everybody to be.
You guys, a good Samaritan. Let me tell you where that comes from. That comes from the Gospels. And basically, the Bible account, it talks about the Good Samaritan. It's actually a parable. He comes along, he sees a man that has been beaten by robbers. He
Mhm.
takes him, he puts him in an inn, he leaves money, and he really tries to help this man that fell upon these
Hard
terrible
times.
robbers, okay,
Yeah.
in hard times.
Yeah.
So that's what a good Samaritan is, someone that stumbles across an event. Actually, Bart was traveling with them. It's important that we get the narrative correct. We're not accusing Bart, anybody else of anything. We're just simply showing you the facts. Let's keep going.
We're helping neighbor.
Now,
Oh,
didn't the
And again, we're limited by our own information. So
yeah.
as information
What's out
come
there
out,
in the public? Yeah.
we're
What's out
just
there in the public? Yep. Mm-hmm.
we're just looking at it.
grandpa call and cancel the tow?
Yeah, I think that I saw that report as well, and it may have been that somebody contacted him and said, "Hey, we got somebody to tow us." So maybe he called because he had a better signal and said, "Hey, they don't need it anymore." Again, these are all kind of the things that were already out there. I don't think we.
See, the grandfather, according to what we have is information, the grandfather, he called after they made the call to Ceto, right? Or during that time frame. Bart had already told them the distance. Okay, so it's very important that you understand the timeline.
Included too much about that in our report because it had been reported on so much. But I also just wanted to point out too on the photo on page 14.
Right here, the photo on page 14. This is the key point.
This is one that we included, even though we could. There's a young man that matches Nolan's description, and I'm saying it that way because we can't.
So he says on page 14, there's a young man that matches Nolan's description.
Verify that it's him in this picture, and he's partially in it because there's a girl blocking him. But it's a young, slender African American male wearing blue swim trunks.
African American male. Slender, check that out.
It's from what you could see in the picture. According to the person that submitted that photo, it was taken at approximately 4:50 p.m. Central Time.
All right, so here's the photo right here, okay? Yes. And this is the way it's being distributed on Nancy Grace's show. You can see the blue shorts, and you could also see that these individuals, their faces are blurred out, okay? Yes. So check this out. Check this out.
On July 4th, which would have been after the GPS data says that.
So this would show that Nolan was on the island at 19 minutes after the boys left at 4:31. Okay. Yeah. So that's what this photo could prove, right?
Triton had left Horn Island. Now, that's only relevant if this young man in the picture actually turns out to be Nolan. We never could verify it, but we thought
they never could verify whether or not it was Nolan or not. Keep that in mind.
Thought it was important enough to at least include as a possibility.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. Please join us on Crime Story. I hope to see you there, and thank you, friend. You are now seeing the photo that Brian Trasher from United Cajun Navy has provided on page 14 of their new timeline report. We're blowing it up. We see 1, 2, 3 at the forefront, 3 white females in bikinis, 1 white male walking along. Now, beside the woman in the bikini on the right, I see 2 people. One looks like a female.
Yep, with a bikini top.
Away, but between the white female and the other female, there is an African American male. That does not look like.
You hear that? That's an African American male. Does everybody notate that? Okay. So this is the person everybody's talking about. That's an African American male.
Nolan Wells to me. Okay. I'm going to have to bring in NASA to enhance this. Brian Trasher, does this guy have facial hair? That's not Nolan.
I mean, again, we couldn't verify, but we could tell that it was an African-American male on the beach wearing blue swim trunks. We thought that was enough to.
African-American male on the beach, guys. Is everybody with me? Put a 1 in the, put a 1. I'm talking to the crowd. I'm sorry. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys see that this person in the blue shorts, they're saying it's Nolan Wells.
Say, okay, it's possible.
Or possibly.
Yeah, they did say possible.
We did
those
like
are dark
said.
blue.
I mean, skin tone,
aren't those deep dark blue?
It looks like it, but Nancy, I don't know if this picture's been enhanced. I don't know if it's been filtered. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's the whole reason why we couldn't corroborate, but it was like, okay.
But you're saying,
and also too, this does create a good picture of a flotilla of boats. So where if we had.
All right. So everybody's with me. You see that this is supposed to be Nolan. All right. I see people putting 1s in the chat. Okay. So this is very important. You know why? Because a lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to say that this is Nolan and the United Cajun Navy said it's him. And they're going to swear about that tomorrow morning when I say, oh no, that's not Nolan. Right. But let me show you guys this. You're not going to believe what I'm about to show you now. It's actually a female. All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you.
White on her.
I'm going to show you guys. Hold on.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to show them now. Okay, so I'm going to show you that this is actually a female, not even a guy at all. Okay, so let me. Maybe you have something moving around or something. I'm not sure. Okay, guys, let's see. I'm not sure what the issue is here.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, let me remove this. Hold on. Okay, so right here, this is a female. She actually has on a bikini top that's white and tan. This is not even a male at all. Look, guys, look. This is actually a female. You can see she has breast. What are we doing here? Yo, this is
Officially.
insanity. This is
Oh
supposed
my
to be
God.
Nolan, guys. This is supposed to be
That's
Nolan, and
crazy.
this is actually a female. What are we doing? Right? What listen, we're pushing the narrative that this is Nolan. I did the research. Look at this. This is a woman.
Say,
Listen, not only that, the shorts are the wrong color, right? Now, we're going to go back and listen to it again now that you have a different paradigm shift, okay? And I want you guys to
got
see
1 second.
how we're running into real big problems when it comes to these cases. Nolan is dead.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, Nolan is dead. He's not coming back. And this is the information that we have circulating when the boy's mother's trying to figure out what happened to her son.
Yeah.
He's being compared to a female that has breasts and a bikini top. That's right, Critical. Look at this. Do I need to show you guys anything more? Can you see it for yourself?
It's crazy.
And I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to show you guys. You can see it on Nancy Grace. Last night I showed you. I said, wait a minute. It looks like I see a halter top or whatever you want to call it. I'm not totally familiar. But anyway, let me show you this right here. Now, this is from Nancy Grace, right? You can actually see this without even doing what I did and pulling it up and blowing it up. You can see it right here. This is, wait a minute. Why is it not? This is, don't want to be great. All right. So here it is, right? Okay. Mama Flips, I lost you. Okay. So right here, this is from.
Okay, God. Okay, I think I'm unstuck. Sorry about that. I was getting stuck. Go ahead.
Yeah, we appear to be having some technical difficulties here.
Sorry,
So
guys.
I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, here we go. Let me remove this and add this. Okay, here we go. So this is from Nancy Grace. You could actually see her white strap. What do you call this right here? Is it just a bikini top or is there an official name? Okay, bikini top.
Did you
Okay.
hear me say, because I was stuck, did you hear me say when I saw the video, I see a white bikini top?
Yeah.
You said it, or was I stuck completely? You didn't hear me.
So maybe, yeah, but at any rate, I don't dispute that, right?
Okay.
But see, this right here is on that report.
Yes.
Guys, hold on one second. This is on the report as Nolan. This is the best shot we have is Nolan being seen after 4:31. Right? Now we're gonna go back and listen to this again. All right. I want you guys to check this out. Now that you have a different point of view, I want you to check this out. Let's listen carefully.
And after the GPS data says that the Triton had left Horn Island. Now, that's only relevant if this young man in the picture actually turns out to be Nolan. We never could verify.
First, it has to be a man. It's a woman. That's a real problem. And she's not even Nolan's complexion, right? Not even the complexion. Last night, I saw the 3 legs, and I said, wow, maybe it's AI, but it's actually a white female that's walking right behind her. You can see it in my photo that I enhanced. So check this out. But we have people going around saying Nolan was seen at 4:50, and here's his photo. This is insanity.
But we thought it was important enough to at least include as a possibility.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here. Please join us on Crime Stories and stream it first on Fox 1. When breaking crime news develops, we investigate it and bring it to you. Bombshell updates, answers to unanswered questions from cases making the headlines and cases you may never have heard of until Crime Stories. We go inside investigations with exclusive interviews, crime victims, families seeking justice, investigators, experts, and sources from within the case itself. Stay on top of the nation's biggest trials with us, including gavel-to-gavel coverage with real-time analysis. Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Stream it first on Fox 1. I hope to see you there. And
I'm playing her material. It's only right to play her commercial. Thanks to Nancy Grace for doing such an amazing job on this case. I'm going to let it play.
Thank you, friend. You are now seeing the photo that Brian Trasher from United Cajun Navy has provided on page 14 of their new timeline report. We're blowing it up. We see 1, 2, 3 at the forefront, 3 white females in bikinis, 1 white male walking along. Now, beside the woman in the bikini on the right, I see 2 people. One looks like a female furthest away, but between the white female and the other female, there is an African American male. That does
No, he's not. It's a female.
The female.
not look like Nolan Wells to me. Okay, I'm going to have to bring in NASA.
So hold on. Did
Dude.
Nancy realize that that was a female after the fact, or she still didn't realize it yet?
She probably don't know yet.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably don't have a clue.
Enhance this. Brian Trasher, does this guy have facial hair? That's not Nolan.
Not even a guy.
Lord have mercy.
I mean, again, we couldn't verify, but we could tell that it was an African American male on the beach wearing blue swim
They could tell it was an African American male. Boy, oh boy, what are we doing here? Jeez.
trunks. We thought that was enough to say, okay, it's possible, but we did
Those
like
are
you
dark
said.
blue.
I mean, the skin tone.
Aren't those deep dark blue?
It looks like it, but Nancy, I don't know if this picture's been enhanced. I don't know if it's been filtered. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's the whole reason why we couldn't corroborate, but it was like, okay. And also too, this does create a good picture of a flotilla of boats. So where if we were looking for a particular one, you know, it was a good one to hang on to. So again, fully.
So you could actually see the color. If this is Nolan, we still have to question this now too, right?
Wow.
But you can see that the shorts are a lot lighter. So guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. I'm going to let you,
Can I ask you a question?
speak your piece.
Mel, let me ask you a question. So thank you.
You're frozen, by the way. I don't know. I don't know why.
But can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. I keep getting frozen. I'm not sure, but hopefully I'll get unfrozen. So here's my question to you: when did you realize that it was a woman, right? And that it was a woman?
I realized it last night when I was watching Nancy Grace. I could see whoever this individual was had on like a bra strap or a bikini top, whichever way you want to frame it.
And no one else has reported that that's a woman except for you.
Nope, nobody else. Other people are going to run with it. They've been running with my material all week, so I'm pretty sure I'll see it somewhere.
Crazy, Mel.
Oh, I have more. No, this is nothing. I have more. I have way more stuff that's more explosive than this, but I don't think we're going to be able to push through it tonight. But anyway, we'll go as far as we can. We'll go as far as we can. What time is it? 9:30. Okay.
It is 9:30. Go ahead. Go ahead. Give us some more tea, because I don't know what else to say. I saw the bikini from the moment you showed me. I was like, wait a minute. I see a white that looks like a bikini from the moment. So if you're going to look at the picture, you can see that that's a woman initially. I mean, but I guess only certain people that have eyes can see these things, and everybody else seemed to be listening. And one of the things that I'm surprised about, to be honest with you, I didn't think that the Navy organization was actually trying to push a narrative until you just showed me today, because I thought that they were being factual. So it seems to me that now they're the voice of Mississippi, because they're trying to push a narrative, right? Or they're trying to imply and steer the investigation.
Well, what was the first question? What was the first question I asked you? Right, I asked you.
I did not know that. I thought it really was.
Hold on. In the words of my dear Biggie Smalls, if you don't know, now you know.
Apparently now I know, because I literally was really impressed with their report. I really was impressed with the fact that they showed us where the boats were. I was impressed with the fact that they led me to think that okay, there's a possibility there was multiple, because they said that there was about 20 to 30 friends that knew Nolan that was on the island, that came to the island. Maybe the fact that he didn't go with that boat. I remember, I thought I heard him say that, oh, maybe the fact that he didn't go with the boat that was being towed, maybe he went with another boat. So I really thought they were really
I,
open
re-
to actually telling us what's happening. So this whole woman
I really, I
destroying
really,
the whole report.
I really do this. You see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you true to this? He said,
I really do this. You know.
you true to this? Let me tell you something. If I had seen that video, if you had shown me the picture, I would have immediately, before you even told me what was going on, I saw the bikini. So I think you and I think a lot alike when it comes to different things. This is why we get along so well. But I need to pay more attention to the documentation.
Mans, hold on one second. Mans, I read the chat and I also see this guy named Cricks just talking all this jazz and don't even know what he's talking about. I see it. I don't respond to everything. But I dropped the link if you want to come up and state your piece. You have the link there.
Everybody
You
can come up and have a
you
conversation.
can go in through the horizontal chat. We have 2 chats streaming right now. So go into the secondary one that's for laptops, computers, and televisions. Hit the link and come up and state your claim. All right, sorry about that, but keep going.
No, but thank you for showing that. And wow, so that means that everything that they reported now is there's no validity to it now, pretty much. Now I got to go back now and look at everything they submitted with a concerning eye, because if they could honestly steer us to say that that's supposed to be, because that's what they said, even though they tried to do the caveat and say, oh, it wasn't confirmed, the fact that you even said it gives room to the rumors and give people ammunition that don't want to believe that we're concerned about what's going on with Nolan, to say, oh, you see, the Navy organization says that that's Nolan. So yeah, that was a bad call. That was a bad call, and I can't wait to Nancy figure that out. You should send her a message.
Well, she'll have to figure that out. At any rate, it's just too much going on at this time. So, as far as now, I'll go back to my original question.
Go ahead.
Um, why do you think we get so much misinformation from all different levels? We get it on TikTok, we get it on Instagram, we get everywhere, and then we also get it from the mainstream media.
I think the fact of the matter is is that everybody is trying to protect these young men. They are more concerned about the future of these young men, especially one of them is supposed to be a very talented football player. And you know how America is about their sports. They're trying to protect these young men. They think that that's more important than find out the truth about what happened with Nolan. That's how
Right. Mr. Taco says the stereotypes of a black male misunderstood, and it's still all good. Yes, indeed.
thank you, thank you. But
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
I
The
think that's
notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace. But anyway, keep going.
but no, that's what I think it is. I think the fact is the matter is, and this is where we come back with what I said originally. We did not make this case a ace issue. We did not make it an ace issue. A lot of people made an ace issue before we even began. The sheriff made it an ace issue. Everybody made it an ace issue. It could have been a simpler a tragedy, and we're going to investigate and find out what happened to it. Now we are now coming to term like, okay, now this is a problem. This is a problem. So I think the reason why there's so much venom and anger is because everybody's trying to protect these young white males, right? And there's only a few that's being mentioned, but apparently there was 7 people on that boat. Why aren't they mentioning the name of everybody that was on that boat? I'm curious to find out who was the female voice on the boat. I want to know who everybody was. But they're doing so much to protect everybody, right? That we can't find out the truth.
Right.
And that's why I think it is, because I'm thinking, and again, and I say it very clearly, and that's just because I was born and raised in America and I have life experience, that if it was the other way around, we wouldn't be where we are right now. I mean, black folks would be in an uproar to say, look, don't mistreat our kids. We want to know the truth. But the fact of the matter is that black folks, especially a prime example of the Carmela Anthony case, is a prime example of how black folks is not a monolith. You know how many black folks out there was blaming Carmela Anthony for what happened? More black folks was blaming Carmela Anthony for what happened than white folks is blaming allegedly what could have possibly happened with Nolan Wells. You know,
Right.
so that's why it becomes an issue. So yeah, we just want to know what's going on. We want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. We want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. I can't begin to tell you how many times we're going to say it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We want to know what happened to Nolan Wells.
Okay, so I want to entertain men's easy menus. Okay, and I get we have people that, anyway. It says there's a man snuggling up behind the woman in the bikini.
Okay.
Okay, he has a green hat on. Three people walking together. I can't come up tonight, but the man doesn't look like Nolan. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. As long as it
Okay,
doesn't look like Nolan, then thank you, because we need to see evidence in which the people are saying that Nolan was still there. We need to see videos and photos, guys. There's a lot of young people at that event. You could see by the boats. And by the way, I want to tell you guys something. Now, you guys understand what the American flag represents a lot of time now, right? Mel, do you know what the American flag represent on a lot of boats and houses now?
now, no,
Yeah.
tell us all about it.
So once when Donald Trump first ran for office, there used to be a lot of MAGA flags, right? Make America Great flags on. That caused a lot of issues with depending on what community you're in. So what America, a lot of people are doing now, they're using the American flag to in place of the MAGA flag, right? So the American flag is supposed to show that they currently are Americans and they are proud to be American in this particular time. So I find it interesting whenever I see a bunch of people waving, putting the American. Don't get me wrong, boats do have flags, but it depends how big the flag is waving. Is making me think that a lot of the people are proud to be an American in this particular time. So that means that they're giving the little wave that say, hey, I'm MAGA, I'm one of you guys. You know what I mean? So I find it very interesting that there's a lot of boats that have the huge, not the small America, the huge American flag flying so proudly.
Right.
So that's my thing. So
Okay, hold on one second. I want to invite Nunya. I want to invite Crix. I want to invite you guys to hit the link and come up and talk about it. Let's
please
talk
show
about.
their faces before you come up, because just in case, we need to confirm your faces to make sure that you guys are actually who you are. You don't have to show your faces when you come up here, but we need to show your faces in the background. Go ahead, Mel.
All right, guys. So, all of you that are saying these things, we would love for you to come up and talk about what's misinformation, what's
Oh yeah,
disinformation, what's wrong. You have the floor. You're welcome to come up right now. I see you're commenting right away, so
yeah.
come on up.
Bring the photos, bring the videos, because what Mel is doing, unlike a lot of people, he's actually taking information that is public, right? Freedom of information, and he is showing it to everyone, right? Mel is just not here just talking, right? He's actually showing videos and photos that is being submitted by various entities, including the media. And he's saying, this is what I see, this is what I see, this is what they said. Here is an example of what they said. Here's the recording of what they said. This is what they wrote. This is in the transcript. This is the photo. This is what he does. You understand what I'm saying? So you telling him that he's sharing misinformation, we are getting misinformation from you. So you blaming him for concocting the misinformation? If he's sharing the information that's already out there, and he's sharing it on the platform so you can see the information out there, why are you accusing him of also getting misinformation? That you guys are accusing him of also giving you misinformation. He's not the one that's creating the misinformation. If you assuming it's misinformation, he's sharing it like media. You see, we are media, right? We professionals. We do this, okay? He didn't write the report. He didn't create the videos and everything like that. So how is it his fault? Right? Or maybe you want to rewrite it and say, oh, by the way, you're using misinformation and you're sharing it in your platform. That's another conversation. I would disagree with you, but hey, maybe I'll agree with you, because apparently the Navy said that was a man and it wasn't, it was a woman. So,
Well, they would have to come up and just explain it. If it's wrong, then all they have to do is come up and tell us
show
what
us.
part of this. Maybe they think it's a male.
Maybe it
So
look like a
uh,
woman to me. Maybe it's AI. Maybe somebody changed the man into an AI in the photo, huh? And shared it and put it on that report.
yeah, I think a lot of people are just disgruntled because the information is just not holding up when you actually look at it. You know what I mean? And you actually peer into it and compare it. So I think you
Somebody
see,
said
we get a lot of people that just agitated. They're just in the chat harassing folks. A
okay,
lot of
well,
them are just bots or
Mel,
what have you.
question. You have an email, right? You have an email in which you allow people to send you information.
Yeah, it's listed on the channel.
Okay, guys. So if it's a man, send Mel an email with a photo of the man. Very simple. Send Mel the photo with that shows that it's a man, so that Mel will show the photo next time or the video.
All right, so I gave them a couple minutes to try
Yeah,
to combat what they're saying in the chat,
yeah.
and so we'll move on now. It doesn't
Thank you.
appear that any of these individuals that are harassing folks in the chat are going to come up. So anyway, all right,
Just
so let's keep moving. Let's get back to you. I wanted to give them an opportunity to come up and dispel anything that seems to be off or add to the discussion, and nobody's coming up yet. So
yeah. Just send
all
it to
right,
us, guys. If you're so scary now, we get it. We're scary. Just send us the information. And then next time we go live, you could say, "Hey, Mel, I sent you a proof."
yeah, at the end of the day, it's not.
Nolan
Here,
was
here we go. Here we go. BATL says even if you think it's a male, it's not Nolan.
yeah, we
see,
know that.
that's somebody that's really on top of their game. I don't. I think. Anyway, let's just keep moving. All right. So let's see where we at as far as time. Okay, we're at the end of our time already. You any closing remarks you want to make or anything else you want to get into?
No, we do want to get into Candace Owens sharing a video showing that someone else apparently was the Uter that unalive CK, that it wasn't the person that actually is on trial for it. We definitely want to get into that story because that trial, I don't think the trial is going on now, I believe, and we really should show that video. I thought it was very interesting when I saw that video. I don't know where she got it from. So it seemed like it's a quiet situation that's going on right now, but I think that it's just MAGA is so interested in, of showing respect on the unalivement of their hero that maybe they would want to maybe take some time away from the Nolan Wells and then maybe find out what happened to CK, because I don't know where she got that video, but I was like, wow, that video was like crazy. So
Okay, I'll have to check that
yeah,
out in regards to
yeah,
that case. Okay.
yeah. So that's a case that I think we would want to talk about. But at the end of the day, just something else that I want to bring it up. Everything else is still going on. We're waiting for to find out about the Kamala Anthony appeal. And I believe that that there was a guy who actually tried to set fire to 26 federal, and his trial, he's going to be going to, I think the judge, I don't think it happened today, but the judge is going to do preliminary hearing. And so I'm going to cover that trial when it goes to hearing, unless he, confess and everything, plead out. But there's a lot of other trials. There's a lot of horrific stories that's coming out about other young people who's being black and brown as being unalive. There's a story officers who actually unalive a young man while they had him locked down, like on the floor. So we may want to talk about that story. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, but with that said, it doesn't take away from the fact that this story is very prominent in our current environment, and we want to know what happened to this young man. And the fact that a lot of people is making it to be such a hateful situation makes us more concerned if we're going to get justice for the family. So we're going
Okay.
to ask questions, period.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Very good.
But thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Everybody.
nice to have you on tonight. We covered a lot of ground. I really appreciate your viewpoints and
Thank you.
so forth. Again, eventual outcome of this case, we look to the authorities to see what happened.
Yes.
Whatever that might be. But in the meantime, we look at certain information that's coming out in regards to this case, and we put it up against a magnifying glass and see where it takes us. So far, though, there's no indication of Nolan after 4:30 p.m.
Being on that island.
in accordance with the report that came out, and the main time is 4:50 when that photo allegedly of him walking down the beach that Nancy Grace shredded to pieces. And also the gentleman from the United Cajun Navy said he was unsure. He wasn't totally sure about it. So we want to be clear on
Yes.
that. But it turns out that the last sighting of Nolan that we have on record so far would be Warren's words that at 4:30, they were telling Nolan to get on the boat. Okay. Okay, so that would be probably.
He did not get on the boat, and he did not. I think he continued to say, but he did not get on the boat.
He did not get on the boat.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's something we want to keep in mind. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate all of you. I think we could, we're not giving you information that we find somewhere out in left field. We're just looking at what was on Nancy Grace last night. And according to what was being said, potentially, at 4:50, it was Nolan walking on the beach. Well, we saw clearly that that's a female, right? I don't know how many people would have a hard time getting beyond that. So no one came up to dispute it. So I don't know what to say beyond that. Okay. I gave you the floor, tell us. We're open. I have no issues with changing my position on anything if that's where the truth and the facts are leading. So thank you guys for tuning in. Before we leave, I want to show you guys one last thing. Okay. I was going to save it to the next show, but I'm going to show you guys this. Okay. This will be my parting analysis for tonight. So this is going to be brief, but pay attention to this here. And again, guys, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And again, we're not accusing anybody of anything in regards to this case. So I just want to make that clear. But watch when I show you this. This is going to be under 4 minutes. So we're going to look at this. And I want you guys to listen to the details. All right. This is the final point.
People aren't on their phones. And everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat. No one's getting off the boat with their phone. So
you guys get ready to leave out of there, getting towed out.
Yeah.
And then where's Nolan in this situation?
Well, all right. So this is where I need you guys to get out your white sheet of paper. Okay. Get out your white sheet of paper. I need you to write this down. Okay. Because some people, these are not my ideas. Okay. You're just simply listening to the facts. Okay. That's it. So check this out. Get your paper out. And the first thing you're going to write down is going to be right here.
Well, the last time I saw Nolan was 3:00.
The last time I saw Nolan was at 3:00. Did you guys write it down? Put a 1 in the chat if you wrote it down. Did anybody write it down? A 1 in the chat if you wrote it down. Get out your white sheet of paper or put it in your notes. Okay? Because I don't want to give you information. I want you to hear what's being said. Okay? So we have people that are Kim Trek, thank you. Okay, Cassandra, thank you guys. Okay, so everybody heard that 3:00, right? Last time Warren saw Nolan was at 3:00. Okay, this is my last bit of information for tonight. And I have a whole lot more, but we have to move it to tomorrow night.
And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy. I was like,
dude, you crazy. You crazy, Nolan. You crazy. Check it out, right? Check out now. You have that 3:00 written down. All right, check this out.
Joking with him. And, but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But
Last time, I want you to write that down. You have to write it down exactly so. Last time I laid eyes on him, okay? All right. The last time I laid eyes on him was 3 o'clock, okay? All right. For all those people that are in the chat, piping at the bit, I want you guys to check out this one and see what you got to say about it.
When we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to, be there and asked, this is a very common thing at Horn Island. When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. It's a very common thing, but Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat.
So now we're at 4:30. Okay. Okay. Check it out. This is their time to leave. Check it out.
We're leaving. The
boat leaves at 4:30. Write that down. We have the GPS. The boat leaves at 4:30, right? So at 3 o'clock is the last time he saw Nolan. Okay. Hold on. Last time he saw Nolan, 3 o'clock. Now it's 4:30, and his buddy is saying, Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. Check this out. Listen.
Having issues, and no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And
now right here, who's there? Who hears? How does he know that the friend's telling Nolan to get on the boat? Right? He just conveyed to you what his friend was saying to Nolan, right? Now check this part out.
Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island. And like he said,
how many people heard that? Or there's just,
at least
just a
5
few,
to, everyone that was on.
He said, was it just a few? Check it out. Check this out.
Our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and
you heard that?
People heard
decision to stay out on
everybody on his boat. So he's on the boat too, right?
Yep.
Isn't he? Everybody on the boat heard that, so he didn't see Nolan at 4:30. I'm just asking.
Wow.
So he don't. Hold on. He saw Nolan the last time at 3 o'clock, right?
That's
so
what
listen, now listen to this. Listen to what he's saying.
Island.
I'm not accusing this guy of anything, but we're just comparing here. Check it out.
He said,
how many people heard that? Or there's just,
at least
just a
5
few, or?
to, everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach.
Everybody on our boat. He said, listen, this is 4:30. The last time he saw Nolan was at 3. He said, well, how many people heard Nolan? Or, even if you didn't see him, if you hear Nolan's voice, right, that's a witness account. He said, everybody on our boat heard Nolan saying, right?
Yep.
So was it 4:30 or was it 3 o'clock? That's all we're asking. Not accusing anybody. We don't know what happened to Nolan. Maybe the authorities are going to come back and say he drowned, whatever it's going to be. But this is what we're doing. That's all. 3 o'clock last time he saw Nolan, right? Okay. Somebody could argue semantics, right? Right. But let it play a little bit more, and we're gonna go.
Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the Palm Beach, and 3 guys on the way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else. We had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat. And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do,
Well, we don't know if Nolan rode on another boat, by the way, because he showed up on the island, right? How else could he get on the island face down in the sand if he got on somebody else's boat? True. It would be less likely under those type of circumstances. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Wow. There's just too much with this case. But anyway, we don't know what happened. We're just having these discussions. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Thank you guys.
And we'll see you back soon. More than likely, definitely tomorrow, news at noon. But more than likely back tomorrow night too. Thank you, Harlem, New York, our new moderator. Thank you so much for all you're doing. I see your amazing work. Okay, so thank you very much for that. Let me see, on our way out, would you like to give us some closing remarks, Mama Flips?
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Okay, pay attention to the case. Please keep the family in your prayers if you guys are prayer warriors, and hope that we get the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells.
Right. And again, we want to make it very clear that we don't know what happened to Nolan. We're engaged in this discussion just looking at different artifacts to figure out what might have happened and just trying to understand what's going on. All right. So let's just be clear. I don't think it's wise for anybody to go out and start threatening folks and all this type of job and business. We don't support any of that type of activity. All right. And I know a lot of people have their feelings, and I know many of you are passionate about this case. As you can see, we're very passionate about this case too,
Yes.
but we want to approach things in accordance with knowledge and not just with hypothetical bullshit. All right. So Mama Flips closes out.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Different voices, but the same song. Building a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.